right, guys, welcome back. So we are jumping into the back into the longitude. We are going to be flying from Topeka back to Addison. We've got some members of the press corps with us, so we are going to be flying those guys back. So go ahead and get this plane started up. We've got an off block time of 2 o'clock Central, which is 7 o'clock UTC. So want to go ahead and get this started. Go ahead and get the APU up and running. Get the batteries on first. I don't know what I was thinking. Now I'm going to get the APU started. Let the electronics come back to life. All right, so we are going to be flying from KFOE today. We've been given a squawk code of 1767 by the Auto ATC. Okay, and then what are we doing today? What is our flight plan? Procedures, departure.
TOS system test, okay.
Okay. All right, well, we are going to take off runway 13. We go to direct to MCI. And then direct X. And then we're going to put in our arrival airport. Procedure for that approach or arrival is going to be, what are we doing? We're going to go slant 3 today. That is the transition, runway 13. Load. So there you have it. That's what we're going to be doing today. I would really like see what that looks like. Slant. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll go, that's our route. We got about 2 minutes before we're supposed to be off the blocks. So we are going to go ahead and start this. Get good ignition on the left. N2 is climbing. N1 is also climbing. Go ahead and hit run on that one. All right side. are going to go ahead and get the right side started. Oop, I did not get the starter. All right, starters engaged. Okay, we are coming to life. Go ahead and get the starboard, get the trim set for takeoff. We are going to be climbing to 43,000 feet today. Without an ATC, we'll just climb straight up. We will go flight level change. We will use the FMS, and we will go nav. All right, so 120, 122.8. All right. We're going to release the parking brakes. We're going to be hanging right. All right, so let's get out of here. We are going to just take the tarmac. We're going to take Alpha down to 1-3. Got overly excited there. Get some lights on. All right. We are now here at Alpha. So we will just taxi down. Topeka traffic. Cessna Romeo Lima 005 taxiing to runway 13 for takeoff. All right. So we are on taxi. Taxiway A. Guess I really should be keeping that on the center line. We are going flight level 430. I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. We'll be climbing at 250 until we break 10,000, at which point we'll accelerate to 270. Once we cross 18,000 feet, we will change over to Mach numbers, and we'll continue to climb at 0.80 until we reach our cruising altitude of flight level 430. That is the current plan. sure flaps are set. We've got flaps 1. We've got no errors. Alright, I guess let's get out of here. With left, don't see anything, nothing on the radar. Looks good to me. Topeka traffic, Cessna 005, ready for takeoff, runway 13. Alright, here we go. Takeoff power set and achieved. Release the parking brakes, or release the brakes. Airspeed is alive. Here's V1. We will rotate. Alright, we've got a positive climb. Gears coming up. Climb plus 10. Flaps coming up. Go ahead and switch over to autopilot and engage the auto throttles for this climb. Topeka traffic, Cessna 005, clear of runway. Nothing like a little climb into the clouds. Alright, we are through 10,000, so we are going to go ahead and switch over. Turn off the landing lights. Make sure everything else is lit. Yep, we're good to go. Okay. Should be a fairly straightforward flight, so. So we are on Unicom. I'm not entirely sure. Alright, so we are at MCI and we are turning right, which is going to be direct to AXE, or to AX, which is first step in slant 3. So basically a straight shot from here to Dallas almost. We are here at 31,000 feet. Oh, the APU is still on. Need to turn that off. There we go. Alright. So we are up and we are cruising. No problem. So do need to pull the airport information. Be nice to have the ILS information and the runway, the airport map. So not real concerned because right now we're not even close to Addison, but we will be there here in a little bit. So showing like 52 minutes, just about an hour to Addison, at which point we will definitely need it. We are up here at 35,000 feet. Do have our transponder set to 1767, so that's good. COM 1 is set to 122.8. 120.8 is now in standby. That was the CTAF for the airport we just left. So we are in good shape. A little outside view of that beautiful jet as it climbs. Some little overcast here, but we're headed to Dallas-Fort Worth, where there are some clouds. There's some things going on, but there's currently, I don't think, any rain, so hopefully we can get in before any of that happens. So we'll see. Just a beautiful day for flying. So we are currently taking, we've got 10 members of the press corps that we are actually taking to Addison. I'm not entirely sure what they are doing or what they're going to be doing, but that's where we're headed. So taking them down there. So while we're here, we got about 2,000 feet until we level off. So that is working out well. And I do believe, despite the fact there is no ATC coverage, I think we will get step-down instructions from the auto ATC. If not, we will just structure our own step-down. Which is no big deal. We can manage that. So spent the last weekend playing Battlefield 6's new beta. Honestly, that was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed that. We did, Wes and myself played quite a bit. I think I attained level 20, which is kind of what I was shooting for. It was kind of the initial, so that was fun. Was able to attain that, hang out for a little bit, shoot some people, work on some. I do like that the classes are not weapon locked, or at least in some modes they're not weapons locked, so able to play around with some guns, get some stuff upgraded, updated. So it was good fun. I know that the next weekend is also a beta weekend, and then release I think is in October, so just have to see how that goes, but it should be fun this coming weekend as well. With hopefully, I think I read that you'll be able to keep all your upgrades and everything. So I've got some upgraded weapons and class perks. I think that'll be kind of neat to be able to do that. So we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. So. Alright, so now that we are up here at 43,000 feet at our cruising altitude, one of the things we can do is turn off the seatbelt sign. Just checking, so we do have a 29 knot headwind, which puts us at 418 knots across the ground. On the way up, we were doing 500 knots. So this will be slightly slower than last flight, but that's really not that big a deal. So, got plenty of fuel for this flight, and so we will just make our way down to Addison, where we will be just hanging out, having a party, I guess. Back to our home base. I don't know that we're gonna party, but we headed back to home base. So we're about 340 miles from the airport. 300, about 45 minutes, maybe a little longer. Be about an hour total once you factor in step downs, slow down for landing and everything like that, and then landing at the airport, taxiing to the terminal and whatnot, so to the gate, the parking space. So in it for the fun. So yeah, so we'll be kind of finishing up our flight today, doing that. That'll probably be where we end things for the day. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. I don't show, looking at the radar, I don't show any real major traffic. Looking at the VATSIM radar, not the in-game radar. I don't show any real traffic in our area or on our route. I did think it was funny, so I'm looking at, there's a flight leaving Oklahoma City. It is an F-22 Raptor, so I'm not sure where he's headed, but he'll be flying out there. Otherwise, just kind of your standard, obviously your commercial jets, flying for various airlines. We are running a private jet, so we're running around in a Cessna CJ4 Longitude. See some 737s. There's yep, a couple of Airbuses. So different various airplanes flying around. I actually see a TBM 930 headed into Meadow Lake. So various people flying various things, various places. That's kind of the aim. So kind of neat to see, be a part of the aviation community. So if you don't know, VATSIM is a nonprofit organization where they connect pilots, sim pilots with sim ATC controllers to create kind of a living simulation. So, I mean, I guess if you were an actual pilot, you could jump on here and get some practice in, or if you're a tower controller, you do ATC, you could do the same. I guess theoretically you could, if you were those, you could do the opposite, see how it is from the other side. So, and then if you're just a sim guy like myself, I'd love to get my pilot's license. It's just not been in the cards at this time, or so far. So, but with that said, just kind of getting used to the idea of getting instructions, having a lot of communications, live people giving them instead of the simulator giving it to you. So it's really a neat situation, a neat setup. I enjoy it. It's a little intimidating, to be honest, at first, but I think most people on here are pretty patient. At the end of the day, if you mess up on the simulator, I mean, the worst that happens is your simulator resets and you start over, right? So it is not, it is a good place to get some practice. So, that's pretty neat, I think, personally. So we are flying today. Unfortunately, it's a work day. It's a Monday. It's in the middle of the day. There is no ATC coverage for this area right now. Throughout the center of the U.S. I did see the Chattanooga approach came on just recently, and actually quite a lot going up in the Seattle area. Portland's online. So you could. There are some areas up in the Northeast where you could have some coverage right now if you were jumping on to fly. Also up in the northeast. I'm sorry, that was northwest. Up in the Northeast, I see that Boston Center's on. Boston Approach is actually on as well. So there are some places. There's quite a bit more coverage, quite a few more airplanes as well out there in Europe right now. So if you're flying European, or if you ever wanted to try your hand at that, now I haven't done that because that's a whole nother level. But for me, right now, just flying, doing what I'm doing now, works for me. So this I think I can manage, sorta. So just yeah. So just flying in, taking care of business. Alright, so we've got about 280 miles left. things are going well, looking good. Again, there's not a ton of traffic in the airspaces we're going to be traversing, so overall, hopefully that minimizes the amount of workload we have. But you just never know, I guess. The nice thing about running a private jet, from a practical standpoint, is we're cruising at 43,000 feet. Most commercial airliners are not up here. It's not where they're flying. So you kind of have the airspace to yourself. There's not really a huge risk of collision at this altitude. That's obviously still something you have to watch out for, something you got to keep your eye on, but at the end of the day, most American Airlines, all that kind of stuff, Southwest, they're not flying at 43,000 feet. That's what you're dealing with is other private jets. So, just as long as you keep your eyes open, pretty good situation. Do have an American Airlines flight, it looks like. But he's going to be at my 8 o'clock right now, so he's going to fly across my tail. I'm not real worried about it. But yeah, so he's, like I said, he's at my 8 o'clock. He's flying to Los Angeles from Springfield, Missouri. So no concerns there. And he appears to be the only one that might cross my path, so I think we're looking good as far as that's concerned. Yep. So we're just up here plugging away. I do see that Dallas Love Field has their ground controller on now. So if we were to be landing at Dallas Love, we'd have ground control. But really, just like I said, clean shot. You can see out the window that clouds are pretty much clearing up. As we, on the left side. On the right side, we still have some cloud cover. But, I don't think we had anything on the radar. Yeah, no, nothing on the radar, so easy mode today out the right side. So, like I said, I don't think we'll have any weather here or as we get to the DFW area, so should be smooth sailing. flying now direct into the wind. No big deal, but it is a direct headwind. So still cutting across the ground at 451 knots, it looks like, 453. So doing just fine. No concerns. So about 31 minutes out at this speed, 238 miles. I don't anticipate getting step down instructions anytime soon, but I would hope. I can't remember, but using the auto ATC, it does seem like you do get some step downs. So, but I'll be sure to let y'all know, once we get there. So. So for those of you that are just joining, we are flying the Cessna CJ4 Longitude. That is a dual pilot. I'm sorry, we are not in a CJ4. I don't know why I said that. I was just sitting here thinking about that. CJ4 is a single pilot certified airplane. We are in a Cessna Longitude. And that is a super mid-sized business jet. This jet has quite a nice range, roughly 4,000 miles. So, you could easily traverse the U.S. in one of these. You could even, I think, 4,000 miles would get you across the pond as well. So, if you really wanted to, you could stop over at Boston or New York and then head over the pond to Heathrow or Gatwick. You can fly into Charles de Gaulle probably, or up in Manchester. So it gives you quite a bit of option, quite a bit of an opportunity to explore. I just had to take a look at that, see how far some of those places are, but so if we were going to fly from JFK to Heathrow, that's right at 3,000 miles. So, yeah. I mean, a direct flight. You know, obviously you're not gonna fly direct, fly a route, but you know, you're still looking at 3,000, you know, less than 3,100 miles. So. So, you know, put you at roughly a 6-hour. If you do 500 knots, flight level 450, that puts you at 6 hours to London, which isn't too bad. Be a fun trip, but boy, that'd be a while. That'd be a long stream, 6 hours. One of the things that's always a little hard to get over is how quiet it is in this jet. I mean, it's going to have some noise, but you're hurtling through the air at 450 knots. It's fairly quiet for that. It's also a whole lot more aerodynamic than my Forerunner. So, you know, when you're hurtling through this you know, hit the wind in that thing at 50 miles an hour, it's quite noisy. But it's also set up like a box. So there's that. So this isn't too terrible, I'd say. This is one of the, honestly, one of the better simulated jets. A lot of time and effort, went into this, and you know, it's kind of crazy to me how much is modeled into this jet. You know, from the avionics to the ice control and all that stuff to just all the systems that they model in a simulated jet. You know, so kind of a crazy situation. So we're about 175 miles out. Still just cruising directly into the wind. Really no big deal. It is what it is. The wind can't be in your favor both directions, right? I mean, that's not the way wind works. And it could definitely be a whole heck of a lot stronger than 25 knots. So, you know, I'll take what I can get there. Alright, so there are a few more jets kind of in our area. Looks like an American Airlines flight headed into DFW. There's a flight headed from Atlanta to LAX. They're at 40,000 feet. That's kind of, I'm kind of surprised that they're at 40,000 feet, because that's a big airplane. There's a Southwest Airlines flight headed out of Houston Hobby, headed to Kansas City. While we're not on the exact same flight path, he's probably going to be the closest to us in terms of just sheer, just specific distance. I don't know that he will appear on radar. I don't think he'll be that close. So, we'll just keep on flying. Maybe there'll be some other jets. Let's see. Alright, I think we've just crossed about the 150-mile mark, so obviously still moving. We're about 2/3 of the way across the state of Oklahoma. Basically, man, once you hit the Red River, you are in Dallas in an airplane. When you're at the Red River, you're there, basically. So, we're coming up on that. That's about 10 minutes out, I'd say. So, just cruising along. We have Ardmore Airport, well, city of Ardmore up here on our right, not too far from us. Not close enough for me to pull it up on the map, but actually getting ready to fly over McAllister, Oklahoma. Yep, so the Southwest Airlines plane headed to Kansas City is basically at Axe, just southwest of Axe. I don't know how far out we'd have to zoom to see Axe on our radar. Oh, it's not. Oh, there he is. See at 36,000? Yep, he's 6,000. What did I say, 36,000? So he's 7,000 feet below us, yeah, something like, give or take. So there he is. Looks like that is his cruising altitude, 36,000, so he will not be doing any climbing from where he's at, probably. So we will cross. Top of descent within 1 minute. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So I need to go ahead and get the Addison approach plate pulled back up. I don't remember, so I'm going to turn VNav on. And let's see if it picks up this glide slope. I know there have been some updates over the last 6 months or so, but I cannot remember if VNav is going to be one of them. If not, I'll step down myself. But yeah, so we've at X, we've got to be at flight level 341. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, we'll check this out. That is not an issue. No, actually. We blew right through it, which is not a problem. So we'll just go, we'll turn that back off. Seriously. Stop that. We'll turn that off. And it looks like I've got vertical speed required 2,500. So oh, well, I guess it helps if I turn this down first. Vertical speed. Down we go. Way too much. What are we at? What are we? 2,500. Okay. I got it set for 2,600. Let's go ahead and descend, and then as we get closer, we can adjust if necessary. Alright, so we are descending. I'm going to go ahead and turn back on the seatbelt light, because from here forward it will be a descent, so they need to go ahead and take their seats, unless they really have to go to the restroom. Just passed by that Southwest flight. I doubt we're going to be able to spot it. Yeah, I don't see it, but he's somewhere right over in this area. But a little ways away, no big deal. So down to 341. Hundred miles out. It has been roughly 52 minutes since we left the blocks at Topeka. I would say we're about 20 minutes out of, from landing, from actual wheels down, so overall, not a bad flight. Oof, missed it. So we need to be down flight level 254. We are a little bit behind schedule. Which is disappointing. Not behind schedule time-wise, but by altitude. So we are working our way down, though, so that's okay. No big deal. We got plenty of time. So flight level 254 by the time we hit air, and then flight level 190 when we hit fours. Take a look at our flight plan real quick, just to kind of see how it plays out. And then we'll hit sever, we'll hit finger, slant, Bono, Jarrett, and then the runway. So we're looking good, looking good. There is some cloud cover. Not gonna lie, I doubt that results in any weather. Yeah, we're looking good there. Weather, no close airplanes. So all is good. There is an American Airlines flight at my 9 o'clock, flying into DFW. I don't know. We're flying at about the same speed, so I don't know that he is going to catch up. He might, because I am technically slowing down, but he might catch up. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Man. There's also an American Airlines flight that just took off out of DFW, but they are headed... Where are they going? I don't know. Let me see if I can find out. Where are you going, guy? Oh, they're headed up to Toronto, so they will definitely not be on our flight path. Don't think. It better not be. So that American Airlines flight is also going to be hitting Sever. Ooh. We're actually going to be coming in a little close, if I'm being honest, to each other. So we will continue our descent, headed down to 19,000. Yes, we got fours, we got sever, we got finger and slant. Here is that American Airlines 1396. Yeah, he is above me currently. Just pulling up the approach information. Star. It's actually moving quite a bit faster than me at this point. I think we've still got some spacing, so we're fine. So we're going to be at 10,000 at slant. Let's talk about this real quick. And 2,000 at Banu. Yeah. So we're going to cross with plenty of time, so we're okay. Going to be down to 12.6. No, there's no way. 12.6 by finger? Okay, so we are flying the airplane. We're gonna pull it back a little bit though. We're gonna slow ourselves down, I'll bet. So 12.7 by finger, 10 by slant. Alright, so we're gonna go 10. Yeah, to get to slant. And then what's wild, there's no way. We gotta get down to 2,000 feet. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling us back. Yeah, don't accelerate, Jet. Because I don't want to have to use the speed brake. Because by the time we get to Banu, we gotta be back to 2,000 feet. Turn on the landing lights. This is your captain speaking. We are on descent, so I mean, go ahead and sit tight, hang back. You can enjoy your drinks, but just stay strapped to your seats. Appreciate you guys flying with us. Private jets are always fun. We'll be on the ground shortly. Alright, so we're about to cross slant 4 seconds. And then we've got to make a mad dash down to the ground. Headed to 2,000 feet. Let's do it. Because that is... we got 21 miles to get to 2,000 feet. Easy peasy. That is not a problem. Well, it will be if I don't get the glide path right. So right now it looks like we need about, what does that say? 1,500 feet. I'm going to go ahead and descend at 2,200 feet a minute. I'm actually going to pull that back to just to 2,000. That way I don't have to deploy the speed brakes. Alright, so we'll be on the ground shortly. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me in case you're just joining. Basically, we took off from Topeka, Kansas at Forbes Airport. We are flying 10 members of the press corps to Addison Airport here in Dallas-Fort Worth. We are on VATSIM, but we do not have coverage here, so we're just making sure we don't run into anybody. We had one American Airlines jet that was in kind of the same airspace. He is behind me, but his route is going to take him to the north before he cuts south, where mine is just going to take me to the airport, which we're almost already there. You can see him on radar. This is him. So I'm actually going to zoom in a touch, just because I need the information for what I'm doing. I will keep an eye on him, but if there's any confusion or concern, I'm sure he will reach out. All right, so we're good to go. We're at 4,500 feet. We're about 12 miles from the airport. That is going to be Lake Louisville directly in front of us. Banu is just beyond that, so we are going to pull back our speed. Yep. And we're going to deploy flaps 1. Actually, if I'm being completely honest, I'm probably going to go ahead and deploy the speed brakes just a touch to bring us back. So we're at about 50% speed brake. Pulling back to 150. Currently 149, but We'll add one. We'll make it better. Okay, so we are on our way to Jarrett, which is also 2,000 feet. And here shortly, we'll have the runway in sight. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little more. Yep, there we go. So it is transitioned. We're Bono to Jarrett. Got 4.8 miles to Jarrett. We are at 1,980 feet. I'm going to go flaps 2. Well, flaps 5, really. And here shortly we'll go flaps full with the landing gear down. Should have runway in sight any second now. So we're at 131. We'll set the auto throttles to 130. Airport. Visual. Perfect. So we've got a visual on the airport. Here in just a second, I'll go ahead and call out I'll go ahead and call us out. Probably when we get to Jarrett, I will just go ahead and call it out. That we are on final. Again, if you're just joining me, I appreciate you tuning in, hanging out. Check out my other content. I've got all sorts of it. Definitely have a lot of content here in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but also in DCS. If you're into combat sims, I just played the Battlefield 6 beta, did some streaming on that. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and turn on the approach, grab the localizer. We have got it. As soon as we cross Jarrett, I will call out final. And we should be good to go. All right, 126.0 is the CTF. So we are going to go flaps full, drop the landing gear. All right, we've got runway in sight. Addison traffic, Cessna Romeo Lima 005 on 3 mile final for runway 16. I don't think there is any traffic here, but just in case, you know, we gotta let them know. Alright, so we are lined up. We're on the glide slope. We've got the localizer on the ILS 616 approach. Easy peasy. Alright, I'm pulling the auto throttles and turning. Shut up. Shh. This is a problem. There we go. Alright, we'll go ahead and kick the autopilot off. And we are gonna find our crap. Yep. Zip it. Thank you. Alright, we've got the runway inside here. We're aiming just beyond the arrows. 40, 30, 20, 10. Oh, I didn't like that. That was not butter. We did make our way back to the center line, but that should have been so much more gentle. I waited a little long to grab the autopilot. I should have definitely been on that earlier. Addison traffic, Cessna Romeo Lima 005, clear of runway 16. All right, and so that's going to do it for us. We are going to actually just taxi right here to this hangar building. Pull on in here, shut her down, and that is where we will call this a day. So, like I said, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Hit the parking brake, make sure the plane doesn't go anywhere. We're going to shut it down. I've got some press corps that are going to hop out and go do their thing. So yeah, if you've enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Always fun times on the stream. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I post new content, and look forward to bringing some new episodes. From me to you, this has been Rick NSX. Thanks for watching.